Good day, doctor, and my fellow classmates. I am Kan Tsai, and today I want to present my research proposal with the title "The Role of School Leaders in Cultivating Action Research Culture in Government Schools." So, do you know what is action research culture? Action research culture is a culture where all teachers and school leaders are actively participated in conducting action research in school. So it starts by the Ministry of Education Malaysia, the MOE, in 2001, where they intended to cultivate the action research culture in schools throughout Malaysia. However, as we know, until today, the culture has not been fully developed or established in the schools throughout Malaysia. It is because the leadership roles and styles of school leaders could actually influence the success of the program in schools. This is according to Kalim 2021. So therefore, in my research, the leadership roles of school leaders will be investigated in 5 key dimensions of instructional leadership by Robinson 2007. The background of the study or problem statement. Let us start with the fact. Since 2001, the Education Policy Planning and Research Department, BPPDP, under the Ministry of Education Malaysia, is aspiring to cultivate action research culture among teachers in Malaysia. This is according to Arumugam 2019. Therefore, it is expected that all schools in Malaysia are able to organize and implement the action research culture in their school. And according to Amir Saleh 2008, there is a continuous increase in the number of teachers conducting action research each year. However, in reality, it's so much different. This is because the school leaders are facing various challenges in cultivating action research culture, as conducting action research itself is very time-consuming, personally demanding, and challenging. And as a consequence, the aspiration of the Ministry of Education, which is to cultivate the action research culture in government schools throughout Malaysia, could never be a reality. Therefore, the leadership roles and style of school leaders is important because it could influence the whole school climate and performance of the students. My research objective and questions are as follows in this slide. My research objective is to investigate the roles of school leaders in cultivating action research culture in government schools. And I will investigate the roles of school leaders in these 5 key dimensions of instructional leadership, which are what are their roles in establishing goals and expectation? What are their roles in managing strategic resourcing? What are their roles in planning, coordinating, and evaluating teaching and curriculum? What are the roles of school leaders in promoting and participating in teacher learning and development? And lastly, what are their roles in ensuring orderly and supportive environment? These are the roles that I'm going to investigate. The roles in this dimension I want to investigate. So this come up with 2 research questions. What are the roles of school leaders in cultivating action research culture in government school? In the second one, how does school leadership roles impact on the success of action research cultivation program in school? This is my theoretical framework. As we see in this diagram, at the left, There are several roles, leadership roles of school leaders, which are figurehead, spokesperson, negotiator, coach, team builder, technical problem solver, entrepreneur, strategic planner, and team player. These are 9 leadership roles by Dubrin 2015. And in my theory, these leadership roles can be applied in each of the 5 key dimensions of instructional leadership by Robinson 2007. This means the school leaders may play all or some of the leadership roles while leading their schools in each of the key dimensions of this instructional leadership by Robinson 2007. And some of the roles may weigh more than the other roles. For example, in establishing goals and expectation, the school leaders may play the role of figurehead, strategic planner, as well as team builder. But the school leader may play more roles on strategic planner, right? And how these roles played by the school leaders may influence on the success of the cultivation and maintenance of the program, which is the Action Research Culture Cultivation Program. Next, let us talk about the conceptual framework. My conceptual framework is more or less the same with the theoretical framework. This is because the concept that I use in my research is derived from the theory. That's the one that I presented before earlier. Okay, so these are the roles of school leaders. Okay, so I categorize the role of school leaders in these 5 key dimensions of instructional leadership. Therefore, to cultivate and maintain action research culture in school leaders need to play several roles, okay? Such as when they are establishing goals and expectation for this program, they are playing roles as strategic planner, figurehead, and team player. And when they are leading the school in strategic resourcing, these are the roles that they play as entrepreneur, as a coach, and so forth. So I listed some of the leadership roles in these key dimensions of instructional leadership. Therefore, there are some leadership roles that are expected to be played by school leaders in each of the key dimensions of the instructional leadership. This is shown in the diagram at the right. So how school leaders actively playing their roles in the key dimensions may affect the success of action research culture cultivation program in schools. Next, let us look at the research methodology, the instrument. The research method that I use in this research is a qualitative descriptive study approach. So the main instrument is an in-depth interview using semi-structured interview questions. The interview questions are based on the 5 key dimensions of instructional leadership by Robinson 2007. And these interview questions will be pilot tested and validated to ensure the clarity and appropriateness of the questions. Other instruments involved in this study are observation and document analysis. This is to triangulate the findings that I would find in the interview later on. The document that will be involved in the observation and document analysis are teachers' action research notes, principles, monitoring forms, minutes of meeting, and so forth. Next is the research sampling. The samples are chosen using purposive sampling The respondents are selected from different positions and level of management. Therefore, we have the respondent one, we have the headmaster itself, and respondent two, we have senior assistant of core curriculum. Respondent three, we have the head of English department, and respondent four, we have a mathematics teacher. This is to get a different opinion about the leadership roles that should be played by the school leaders in cultivating action research culture in school. Headmaster may have different opinion about the roles that he should play in cultivating action research culture in school. The senior assistant, the PKs, may have different opinion, as well as the ketua panitia, head of department. They have different opinion. And lastly, we have teacher, the ordinary teacher, normal teacher. Normal teacher may have other opinion about this. Therefore, this is to get a different kind of perspective on the same topic, on the same subject. Okay. About data collection and data analysis procedure, so I have categorized it into three steps. The first one is before interview. Before interview, to collect the data, I need to set the time and date so that the respondents are ready. They are ready. They are not burdened by their other work, their other responsibility, other tasks, so that they can provide interview, and I will provide interview questions to them so that they can get ready what they want to answer. They have time to think about the answer they want to give. And during the interview, I will explain the purpose and the intent of the interview and obtain consent from the respondents. And I will audio record the interview session. And after the interview, I may collect additional information throughout observation and document analysis. This is depending on the response that I get in the interview session later on. And this data will be analyzed descriptively and narratively, which is by teams with the mixture of direct speech and reported speech. The findings of this interview will be triangulated with the data obtained from observation and document analysis to confirm and validate the reliability of the interview's findings. Finally, in conclusion, the success of cultivating action research culture in school is very much depending on the school leaders. The school leaders must have the quality of instructional leadership, which is the power and behavior to influence individuals and situations within the school. Therefore, how school leaders play their roles in instructional leadership may impact on the success of cultivating action research culture in schools. These are the references that I use in these slides. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much, everyone.